We had a question today, actually from several people, about being concerned about learning a Cricut design space. This is the Creative Crafters podcast. Hi, I'm Bette from Bette's Makes, and this is your questions answered. Now, one of the big things learning about Cricut Design Space, just like any software, don't try and learn everything. My big advice here is grab a project, work with someone you love and like myself, and work your way through a project at a time, because each project you work with will use different tools for different things. If you try to learn it all at once, that really doesn't work too well. So project by project actually works extremely well. I had just opened Design Space today. It is Halloween today, and happy Halloween. And there was another update. Now you're going to find constant updates. So if you try to learn the whole thing, you're going to find that things change, they move around, you don't know where they are. But if you go project by project, that is the absolute best way to do it. For example, when I first started learning how to use Design Space, I just picked on a couple of things that I wanted to make. And in my case, it was a couple of cards, and I gave it a whirl as to what I had to push and what I had to learn about Design Space in order for that to work for me. And that was the best way for me to learn it. So then I could add to what I already knew by trying a different project using a different material. Well, I started with paper crafts and cards, and then I learned a bit about iron-on, and then I learned about vinyl. So don't try to do everything at the same time. Just know that if you pick a project, you are going to be taught some skills about Design Space. Yes, you can buy books on it. We even have one called the Newbie's Guide that you can purchase, and that's at copiouscrafts.com. Just type in Newbie's Guide and you will find our Newbie's Guide of going through Design Space. But you have to understand, we update those for free for a reason, because Design Space updates all the time. And I know for some of you that is very, very frustrating, because things move and things just aren't where they used to be. Thank goodness for one thing with Design Space is that when you look on your panels, when you have your canvas open, they tend to leave alone on the left-hand side the templates, project shapes, so on and so forth. Those tend to be a constant. Your layers panel on the other side tends to be a constant. They may add a few things. And of course the menu across the top, that's pretty constant as well. The biggest problem is sometimes they will move things around. So operation has changed for 5 different times, from your cut to your pen to your draw, but it's all in the same place. They've just put it out of order. So my big advice for you, if you want to learn Cricut Design Space, I would suggest subscribing to our YouTube channel and pick a project or pick one of our challenges, because we teach you the skills as you go along. Do one thing at a time. Learn how to use upload. That's going to be one of your important parts. And then perhaps decide, I want to learn about shapes and what I can do with them. And just leave it at that. Do some cutting and pasting and testing, and you'll be far more comfortable, because you'll be able to master the small steps. And gradually you will have enough small steps to be able to master the whole thing. This has been the Creative Crafters podcast, and your questions answered.